dying national political party. Please, God, America, let's kick them into the dustbin of history.
Yep.
Oh my God, we need to, you know what, you know how like I need to unplug the internet and plug it back in. We need to reboot America. Let's do this.
All right.
Okay, 18, one last Kamala Harris from Stern.
To your point, doesn't support our friend Ukraine, doesn't support, therefore, something America should always, and has always, by the way, been a champion of, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity, which means the importance of standing against anyone who tries to take another nation by force.
Right.
That's what we stand for as Americans, that you don't do that. And if you do that to our friends, we're going to stand with our friends. You're getting played, and some would say, look, I grew up in the neighborhood. Some would say you're getting punked. If you stand in favor of somebody who's an adversary over your friends on principles that we all agree on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're going to find out if Alexander Vindman and others are right. These phone calls have been collected. I mean, how much you want? He told him to invade Ukraine. Don't worry, I'll get Republicans to not give Ukraine any aid.
Yep.
I mean, it's insane. I think that we probably still only know the tip of the iceberg. Rude Pundit said in the last day, Trump has said bad genes cause immigrants to commit crime, which is pretty damn Hitlerish. Lied about the Helene relief effort. We've learned that Trump interfered in the FBI investigation of Brett Kavanaugh and that he secretly sent Putin COVID tests when there were barely any, and has maintained contact with Putin even as the U.S. backed Ukraine against Russia. If you vote for Trump, you are a hole, and your reasons for doing it. Oh, thank you, Rude Pundit. Oh, as only his rudeness can say it. That's one news cycle. Do you want to know, like, I'm spinning like a St. Bernard? That's one thing you just said. That was one day's news. Oh, my God. Thank you, Sean. Tweeted, bad genes. Has he looked at Eric? Okay.
Oh.
Hi, Eric.
He's all gummy.
He's very gummy.
Someone else had a thought about that as well. Hold, please.
Okay.
Yes, Doug said, we've got a lot of bad genes, says the guy whose father was arrested at a Klan rally and whose grandfather was a pimp and a draft dodger. Yeah, I'd ease up on the bad genes. Holy cow. Okay. Oh, and Brett in North Carolina said, let's ask Trump what kind of gun he owns. Oh, that's right. He can't own one because he's a felon. Yeah, maybe that's a good question for an interviewer. How about that? What kind of gun do you not own? Because you can't, because you're... Hi, Michael in Oakland. It's our pro boner. Hello, Michael.
Michael,
Michael, I hear you breathing.
Oh, hi.
Oh, there
hi.
he is. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
all right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about the anti-Semitism being directed at FEMA is based on the fact that Alejandro Mayorkas is Jewish.
Oh,
And they
thank
think
you.
that there's this whole right-wing theme that FEMA is like trying to control everybody's mind,
Right.
and that they're part of an international conspiracy because it's the federal government and a Jew is controlling it, and blah.
So they
blah,
don't
blah,
believe
blah.
in
That's
climate
what
change,
that's
but they
all
believe
about.
that liberals can control the weather?
Yes.
Okay.
Marjorie thinks so.
Right.
With lasers.
By the way, there's a really good piece in the New York Times about discerning why the polls, or that is to say that there's two ways that polls are being done now, and one of the ways is adjusting for what was considered the anti-Trump bias, so that when people say, well, Trump is he's really leading, or Harris isn't leading as much because the polls favor. It's not true anymore because they've got a technique, and it's explained really well in the New York Times, but they've adjusted for that. Harris is leading, period.
Yeah.
And it just depends on how much.
Well, not according to
and-
Lara Trump, because she said people pass her cocktail napkins on planes that say people are voting for
Yeah,
Trump.
so that's proof that Trump
I
is
think possibly she's drunk and the napkin says Trump, not I'm going to
And
vote.
how many commercial flights is she actually taking?
Right. She doesn't fly commercial.
No.
By the way, they're always lecturing us about family values. Did you ever see that video? She's drinking like it looks like a garbage pail sized glass of wine while her kids are in the background. She's just like ignoring them, and I don't.
Is she the one who puts out hit singles?
She's the one that sings on fire escapes.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
her kids are like playing on the stove, and she's out on the fire escape singing
Singing
and
it,
drinking
yeah.
like a giant
With
glass of
some
wine.
mystery woman on the
Yeah.
fire escape standing
Yeah.
in the background with her.
Yeah. Laura Ingraham said in the New York Times poll, she does best Donald Trump as being the change candidate somehow among likely voters by 2 points. What's going on? Lara said, well, I don't believe that poll at all. The people of
Well,
this country...
then, that settles that.
She's got cocktail napkins.
Right.
She said the people of this country are begging for Donald Trump to go back to the White House. I get slipped beverage napkins every time I get on an airplane saying we can't wait to vote for Trump, go Trump. I'm telling you, she's drunk. What it says is Trump, and she thinks it says go Trump.
She doesn't fly commercial.
No,
She doesn't.
She does not.
No. She flies with America. Okay. Well, that means America's sunk because beverage napkins.
Well, that's proof.
I love that she tried to be clever by saying beverage and not cocktail.
Cocktail.
We know what you're drinking.
Yeah. She's drunk. Allegedly.
That's why
Allegedly.
she can't sing.
20 minutes after the hour. This poor Good Morning World's best looking human. Hello.
Oh, it's so good to be back. back with you, Mama, in this anxiety in the polling, but
Saturday. We love you.
Mama, you have saved my hiney
Aw.
for the past number of years. I've been stressed beyond belief. We got to get rid of this orange
I know. I know.
menace.
I know. And also, Jess, Jess
go ahead.
Piper. Jess Piper is a fantastic activist
Right.
there.
Yep.
She's the head of Blue Missouri, so she's going to join us on panel too.
I'm in Nebraska, so I'm not familiar with her, but I'm sure she's fat. Everybody you bring is fabulous. I've been
Bringing
getting your
someone from
pay-per-view
Nebraska?
shows for years.
What's that?
What's that?
We're bringing someone from Nebraska.
Oh yes, we're never bringing another hot dish
Yeah,
to pass.
from Lincoln, actually. He's from Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yay!
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing my own personal hot dish, my fiance.
Oh,
So,
good.
hey, here we
All
go.
right. We will see you
I know.
Saturday. We love you.
I can't wait to see y'all.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for
All
what you
right.
do.
Aw.
Thank you. Love you
right.
all.
Oh,
Love
I
you
love
too.
you too. And Nick is bringing his Lincoln log. He's going to be wearing short shorts and no shirt. I'm not kidding. I'm not making that up. He's going to be our ring boy.
Right. He's
He's going to announce the acts with a card. You know, what do they call them? Ring girls?
ring girls.
Card girls?
He's going to be
Something.
our ring boy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I mentioned this earlier, but I just, when you think things can't get more ridiculous, Trump is calling for an investigation into CBS News in 60 Minutes for editing the Kamala Harris. They edit every interview they've ever done in the history of ever, but okay, to make her look more presidential. Or, stay with me here, Donald, maybe she, in fact, is presidential. They edited Elias Kamala's answers to questions which were virtually incoherent. See, everything's going to be 100% protection.
Right.
Did I tell you that?
Uh-huh.
Right until up to
Oh, yeah.
election day. Okay. In an effort to make her possibly illegal. Effort to make...
What?
How is editing? Is editing illegal? I don't...
No,
okay.
it's not.
No.
The public's owed a major and immediate apology. Oh, I see. In addition to the apology, you're owed for something Leslie Stahl didn't say, but that you said she said, which is
Right.
why you pussed out.
He makes no sense.
60 Minutes.
He makes no sense.
Okay.
He's
All
boring.
right. Oh. I'm sorry. So little time. So much hurry. I'll get to this next slice of free in a second. And Coffee with Carlos on this day. Stephanie Miller Show. With Stephen Colbert, because of the whole, like, oh, you know, who do you want to have a beer with? So he's like, you know, we have a beer with me. And so it's not like this was her idea. It was just funny. He's like, cheers. She said, cheers. He said it tastes like the beautiful city of Milwaukee. And she said the champagne of beers. It was Miller Lite. Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with Miller.
Yes, I am. But oh my God, I just, on cue, you know, you could either vote for fun or just the anti-fun party. Fox and Friends could barely hide their disgust with Kamala Harris's guest appearance with Stephen Colbert. Brian Kilmeade said, I wonder if the vice president will cancel her appearance on these lighthearted shows like The View and Stephen Colbert. The answer is she didn't. And here's a little, I mean, to me, this is, even though you tape in the afternoon, it's in New York, it's not in Florida, the whole country's watching, and this is what they saw.
He was triggered by beer.
Wow. Jody and I are very sensitive to people being judgy about the time, what wine time is. Just speak for yourselves.
I get up at 12:30 in the morning.
You know what?
So.
As Tim Walz would say, it's none of your damn business. Time is 1 o'clock. Okay.
Has 1 o'clock ever been 10 o'clock for you?
No.
No?
What
I've
do you
already
think?
been up 7 hours, so.
Jody and I are, no.
11 a.m.?
One said for her to go on the Late Show Night Show to do Howard Stern in the middle of a crisis and not be with the commander-in-chief, it just doesn't look good. Oh, you bunch of scolds.
Commander-in-chief can handle
Oh, and
things.
then they said, no one orders Miller High Life. She only picked that because it's made in Wisconsin. She didn't pick it. It's a bit, oh my God. The entire network has a rod up their ass, can I just say?
Good Lord. The rod up that man's butt must have a rod up its butt.
Miller is brewed across the country at different breweries.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
one
we-
over
we have one in
Monrovia.
Irwindale right here.
Yeah, and there's one in Monrovia, I think, too.
Yeah, Irwindale.
Yeah.
One political consultant says she is making good moves to reach voters in a very fractured media environment we have now, including podcasts and social media platforms like TikTok, because that's where voters are, and you have to be where the voters are. And then they talked about the road to the White House many times has gone through The View. Every candidate, including Trump, that went on The View went on to win. So,
But he's too scared to go on The View now.
too many vaginas. Okay. What?
When has he ever been frightened of a vagina?
Strong ones.
Grab them.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all he does.
A spokesman for Trump's campaign claimed the former president was doing more than President Biden, Kamala Harris, and FEMA regarding hurricane.
Did they go into specifics?
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying scheming,
They pointed out
stinking,
Trump has
nasty
raised money
sack
through a
of liquid
GoFundMe
crap.
page, because of course it's never his money.
Right?
And by the way, I'd keep your eye on that GoFundMe money.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
If history's any guide. He said, the campaign said, we're really showing up where the federal government is not. That is a complete, he sits on a throne of lies. He sits on a throne of lies. Karen in Woodstock. Hello, Karen.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Oh, yeah, in the bathroom, yeah.
Oh, in the bathroom.
Oh, hi, Karen.
Right on.
Oh, are you done? Oh.
Are you done, Karen?
Karen?
Karen, can you talk to
Karen?
us now? Is this a bad time? Did I call it a bad time?
Push harder. Push harder.
Stop.
Christopher!
What?
You're gross.
What?
God, boys are dumb. Kevin in D.C.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes,
Hello.
good morning.
Chop,
Wow.
chop. Here we go. Get to your point. Mama's having a morning. Go ahead.
Yes. I first of all, I was waiting for everyone, all the great pundits, to point out the difference between Kamala and all the very news media that she's talked to, from as silly as Colbert to as serious as 60 Minutes. I guess I'll wait forever for that.
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, since these people, Republicans, worship money, that appears to be their god, the only way I can see that to get them to stop lying, whether it was from the Haitians and the harm they caused, people calling it death threats or whatever, and this latest, in the storms, causing people not to want to even use service because of lies, is to sue them. It works. Anon settled, I believe, and their anchors were scared to say anything on the air. Remember that? Fox had to pay nearly $1 billion. Trump, he finally shut up a little bit when his babblings, against Carol caused him so much money. So apparently that's what you need to do, and maybe have a fund once Kamala wins and takes the money from the billionaires to make them pay this year. up a fund from now on that when you lie, Republicans lie, you pay a financial price for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like a swear jar.
They played a huge financial price. It's lying is built into their business model. They played a huge price on election fraud. But COVID should tell you they don't care if people die
not at all.
from their lies. I mean, it's
They sit on a throne of lies.
yes, exactly. Here is King Throne of Lies.
So we're into almost $300 billion for Ukraine, and yet they're offering people $750
For immediate need.
for the worst, but for the worst hurricane that anybody's seen. But more importantly than that is they don't have the people. They're not doing. It's a very bad thing.
How would you do it differently?
I'd have a tremendous team of people here. They don't have any people here. The people are all. I was in North Carolina yesterday. I was in Georgia. And Georgia's different. You have a good governor. He's doing a very good job. But North Carolina is a disaster. And it was also hit very hard. But they don't have the people. And they're complaining there's no people around to help.
No one is saying that. Every Republican official is saying. In fact, who told us yesterday they've almost had near misses? There's so many FEMA planes and relief missions going in there. Oh my God. Okay, this is.
Can you respond to that, Administrator?
Yeah, I mean, his accusations are just completely false. I think the first thing I would say is just because you don't see somebody on the ground in a FEMA shirt doesn't mean we don't have people there. Right. We have people that are embedded in the State Emergency Operations Center. I have teams that are walking around neighborhoods. I have teams that are embedded with all of the county EOCs. People are on but we're also bringing in resources, and it's not just FEMA. We are one part of the federal family. We have over 3,400 members from across all federal agencies in North Carolina helping to support this response.
Yeah. And one more.
We will continue to bring in more resources as we go into the recovery and the long-term needs that these communities have. Kate, we really have just got to stop this rhetoric, because what it's doing is it's putting fear in the people that we're not going to be there to help them. And I worry that they won't register for assistance with us and get access to the critical resources that they are eligible for.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It has a consequence. Here is, by the way, we played Lena Haba.
God bless you.
Thank you. Again, you threaded about this, Chris, about it's not babies floating everywhere.
No.
Jesus. So this is Martha McCullen.
See that report of a baby floating in the water? We have absolutely heard there are children floating. There's missing bodies, dead bodies. We know that. There are dead people. We're up to 250.
32.
Yeah, 32. Thank you. So this is the problem. It's not misinformation, it's fact. And to talk about Katrina, well, I'm really glad you're dealing with your trauma from Katrina. But we have problems happening now.
What? Katrina?
He's trying to say this is a worse response than Katrina. There is not one Republican official that is not saying the Biden-Harris administration is doing a great job. I mean, I can't. Let the both sides do it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a sitting congressperson, actually said Democrats can't control the weather, and that we hit boy, we have bad aim if we hit Asheville, because that's a really liberal city.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, we mentioned this yesterday, but Chris, I'm not sure if it's the grammar that's going to, or the science that's going to get you on this one, but okay.
People are not affecting climate change. You're going to tell me that back in the Ice Age, how much taxes did people pay, and how many changes did governments make to melt the ice? The climate is going to continue to change. And there is no reason to just open up our borders and allow everyone in and continue to funnel over $50 billion or however many billions of dollars or trillions of dollars to foreign countries all over the world simply because they don't like the climate change.
What does climate change have to do with the borders?
Hold please, let's review. How much taxes did people pay during the Ice Age? Does anyone know the answer to how much taxes?
Should we ask Ellie?
Maybe they didn't, because their assets were all frozen.
Oh, that was funny.
I like to pay. I would pay, but my assets. That was the excuse used by tax cheats in the Ice Age. My assets are all.
It was fine.
It's okay.
You know what? I can feel my people supporting me out there in their homes and cars. My people are with me. You
might have gotten a laugh at the Bismarck, North Dakota chuckle hut.
Shut up! Okay, I have to hear that again.
That's a big maybe.
People are not affecting climate change. You're going to tell me that back in the Ice Age, how much taxes did people pay and how many changes did governments make to melt the ice?
I think we were all dumb. That's the most insanely idiotic thing I've ever heard. We were all now dumber.
We are.
For having heard it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That last part's optional. God, you do what you want.